all set for the victory against Ministers?
Everything is set, I think, but when I get to the hotel, I'm going to catch up with the team.
What we should do in the time remaining is list things that could go wrong in the solidity of the system.
We need somewhere to put after going under here.
Alright, rehearsal, let's go please, folks.
Have you arranged the base for Lisa to smoke? In a difficult situation, he likes to smoke.
Yes, there is a terrace. And we'll have security, so he'll be able to go up there and be by himself.
我这个位置也比较尴尬，因为你看我穿的衣服，这个。
明白明白。
我是这次裁判。
When I got here, I didn't expect the attention on the match. It was literally front page news. You know, about 8 million Koreans play the game of Go, and even those who don't, recognize Lee Sedol. He's a national figure. And so there's that, right? There's some national pride involved, but it's more than that. Just the very thought of a machine playing a human at something like this, I think, is inherently intriguing to people.
We could bring it.
여전히 자신감은 있는 상태고요. 아무래도 역시 아직은 인간의 직관력이나 이런 감각들을 컴퓨터인 인공지능이 따라오기에는 약간 무리가 있지 않나 이렇게 생각을 해서 제가 꼭 인간의 그런 걸 지켜낼 수 있도록 최선을 다하겠습니다.
All the world gave the pressure to Lee Sedol. Before this, he played the tournament for country, for himself. But this time, he played for the human.
I just really hope we win this first game. If you lose the first game, you literally have to win 3 out of 4.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is hard work. Yeah.
Where are you going to be?
I'll start in the match room, and then I'm going to come in here and make sure everything's set.
Yeah, you should probably be in here.
I know you're nervous.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. How are you? You're not nervous?
A bit.
A little bit, yeah? That's good to have a little bit of nerves. Be fine, be fine.
Hello and welcome to the Deep Mind Challenge Game 1, Round 1, live from the Four Seasons here in Seoul, Korea. I'm Chris Garlock of the American Go e-Journal. I'm here with Michael Redman, 9Dan Professional. Welcome, Michael. I want to give a shout out to all of the folks watching around the world. Well, the excitement's pretty palpable here in the hotel. I've never seen a crush of interest of reporters from around the world.
It's overwhelming.
그동안 알파고라고 한다면 화점을 즐겨두어 왔었는데 글쎄 5개월 동안 달라졌을까요?
All right, folks, you're here. You're going to see history made. Stay with us. 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes.
I just thought we should take a moment together and just think about what's about to happen. Extremely excited to be there, extremely proud of every one of you and what we've done. And win or loss, I think it's just amazing that we're here.
아빠 기계가 하고 싸우니까 좀 이상하지 않아요?
지금 기계가 사람을 반응해서 이기진 않았으면 좋겠어요.
대부분 중국문을 적용하며 보험은 7시간, 제한 시간은 각자 2시간에 60초, 3회.
앞으로를 가려주시기 바랍니다. 이세돌보다 뭐 선택하셨습니다. 내곡을 시작해 주시기 바랍니다.
We had worked so hard to make sure that this would go technically smoothly. We tested it and tested it and tested it, and still there comes that moment when you're live, all the TV cameras are broadcasting everything, and now it has to do the thing you built it to do.
아 근데 여기서 알파고가 첫수부터 지금 고민을 하고 있거든요.
지금 알파고의 시간을 한번 잘 보시면요. 지금 30초가 넘어가고 있는데
네.
근데 진짜 두 번째 수를 너무 생각을 하네.
네.
I was a bit nervous. It's the first time that I sit in front of a world-class co-player. And I actually can feel the spirit and courtesy of a great co-player like Lisayo. Because I think it is the first time he faced a strange opponent. I think it's not a human, has no emotion, it's cold, but he stayed very calm. And I can feel his mental strength.
들여다봤어요.
이야.
놀랄만한 수죠.
오늘 바둑에서 처음으로 알파고가 독특한 수가 나온 거예요. 사람같이 두려고 그러네? 이런 느낌인 겁니다.
I'm Andrew Jackson. With me here is Myung-won Kim, 9-dan pro from the Korean Baduk Association. We are here live at the Four Seasons Hotel on the 21st floor.
What are we looking at? How's the game going?
It's fighting from the beginning.
From the very beginning?
Yeah. AlphaGo plays very well.
Yeah?
It's like a top professional.
Just like a top professional?
Yeah, it's very aggressive.
몰랐어요? 끊으면 어떡하죠?
근데 이게 끊겠죠 설마?
Now the fight is getting really complicated. This is actually the first time I've seen AlphaGo playing a game that has this difficult fight.
이세돌 구단이 이거 약간 흔들릴 수 있겠습니다. 알파고는 당연히 1분에서 1분 30초는 쓰는 거예요. 확실히 이런 부분은 사람에 가깝진 않나요? 자기가 고심해봐야 소용이 없어요. 상대는 무조건 다 한다듯이 빨리 둬요.
I just saw him looking at his opponent's face, and that's just a kind of a habit.
It's just an instinct as a player to look at the person across the
Yeah, it's sort of like something that Lisa Lo would do when he was wondering how his opponent was feeling.
Right.
It's just a habit. So it's not as if Ajia Huang is going to do any giveaway, because Ajia Huang isn't AlphaGo, right?
와닿았는데 지금 이세돌 구단이 잠깐 미소를 지었거든요.
지금은 이건
착각이었던 것 같아요.
아니요, 말도 안 되는 소리 듣고 있잖아요 지금.
지금 여기 왔다고
지금
했거든요.
뭐 하는 거예요 지금? 아니 거기 좀 원래 줬어요 이거. 지금 지금 여기를 두려고 하다가 이게 그냥 아무 생각 없이 들어가.
워낙 생각이 많다 보니까.
아니 지금 힘들어요 굉장히. 그러니까 당황했어요 약간. 이것이 저희가 이제 가장 두려워하는 건데.
네.
흔들린다. with human, when you play, you can have exchange by feeling. I look in you, I know, okay, maybe you won't talk with me. Maybe you fear about me. I can feel many, many things. But AlphaGo, you can feel nothing. So when you can feel nothing when you play, you have a more and more question about yourself. For beginning, you think, okay, my move is good. And really good? Really good? Oh, maybe bad. Oh, terrible. Why do I play here? More and more.
Hard to know where to be. All the different rooms are like exciting in different ways. Isn't it?
Right.
Quite nice to be here at the heart of the operation.
Yeah, I feel safe here.
Well, I was thinking of doing this huge invasion here from this thick wall. Yes, go for it.
Stunning. Come on in.
Look at his face, look at his face.
That is not a confident face. He's pretty horrified by that.
I can't believe what I see right now. Oh, really. She thought, she's a little bit behind. And she made a very aggressive move here.
Okay.
And make it very complicated.
Okay.
I think if he doesn't respond quickly, then he can collapse. I mean, this is kind of unthinkable as a human Go player. What if she knows everything about what's going to happen next?
Where are we? Here's our search depth. It's actually 50 or 60 moves ahead. That's the maximum number of moves ahead that AlphaGo is looking from the current game position. It's typically over 50, it's often over 60.
In the games we see, often move 150, AlphaGo goes for the kill. We're 115 now, so we're getting to that critical point.
We are all astonished just in the middle of the game because AlphaGo seems to be doing a much better job than we all thought it would. I thought Lee Se-do would be leading the game comfortably, but it turned out that he's struggling at the moment. But I think eventually he will prevail, I hope. I was, more 5-0, but now I'm not sure about that.
아, 이게 뭐야? 알파고 실수했습니다. 알파고 실수했습니다. 야, 세상에 이런 실수를 당하네.
There might be the first mistake, kind of clear mistake that White made.
가끔 가다가 지금 어느 순간부터 약간 실수를 해주는데 끝내기 위해서. 근데 끝났는데 알파고가 만약에 이겼다, 조금이라도. 그러면 알파고는 이길 만큼만 둔 거라고 볼 수도 있어요, 사실. 아까 사실 제가 하다가 말을 멈춘 게 계산을 했는데 이상하게 알파고가 조금 좋은 것 같아가지고 진짜인가 해가지고 믿어지지가 않아가지고 그런데
사람이 볼 때 실수 같지만 얘는 계산을 보이고 그게 실수가 아니고
그렇죠. 네, 그렇죠. 그러니까 그게 진짜 계산된 걸로 그렇게 간다면 너무 무섭죠. 그냥 입장에서는 갖고 노는 거니까 지금 사람을 갖고 노는 거니까.
Myung-won, it looks like you've got a count.
Yeah, right.
What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, Black White won a lot at this time. It looks like that.
If it's like this, White has won by a lot.
Yeah.
둘, 셋, 넷. 이거 내가 진짜 믿어지겠네? 서른, 셋, 서른, 넷, 서른, 다섯, 서른, 여섯, 71. 졌어.
Wow, it's so shocking. I expected AlphaGo to win only one game.
I can feel his pain. Like he couldn't believe. He couldn't accept it. It takes time for him to accept the outcome.
Maybe AlphaGo is very strong now, but he won't believe he will lose. It's just the goalpost player. We can't believe this because for us it's something very, very far. It's not can be coming now. It's impossible. But in reality, it's not.
I think he resigned in a very polite way. These are he is black, but he provides them.
I think he resigned.
Oh my gosh.
stuff. Wow.
I feel really good. I feel like I really believe in AlphaGo. Of course, it's natural that humans want humans to win. I mean, I think that's a natural response. But AlphaGo is human created, and I think that's the ultimate sign of human ingenuity and cleverness. Everything that AlphaGo does, it does because a human has either created the data that it learns from, created the learning algorithm that learns from that data, created the search algorithm. All of these things have come from humans. So really, this is a human endeavor.
Machine, a computer just came out the victor.
DeepMind put its computer program to the test against one of the brightest minds in the world and won.
AlphaGo beat a professional player who has 18 Go World Championships under his belt. The victory is considered a breakthrough in artificial intelligence.
예. 일단 너무 놀랬고요. 사실 뭐 진다고 생각을 안 했는데 이렇게 너무 놀랬고. 예. 일단 오늘 바둑적으로 얘기를 하자면은 초반에 실패가 끝까지 이어지지 않았나 싶고요. 물론 초반에 낚을 질 줄 몰랐습니다. 이렇게 완벽하게 바둑을 칠 줄 몰라가지고요. 정말 놀랬고 저는 여러 번의 세계대회 우승 경험도 있고 또 실전 경험 자체가 많이 틀리기 때문에 뭐 일구 걸렸다고 해서 제가 뭐 크게 흔들리거나 이런 것은 좀 없지 않을까 생각하고요. 제 그 느낌을 정확히 말씀드리면 이제 5대5가 아닌가 생각을 합니다. 저는 다른 이렇게 프로그램을 이렇게 알파고를 만든 이 두 분 또 나머지 프로그래머들께 정말 깊은 존경심을 전하겠습니다.
In research, we normally work to produce an academic paper, it gets published, and maybe we get to talk about it in a conference if we're lucky. This is not normal for research. In fact, I've never experienced any media attention remotely close to this. So it's a special moment for us all, and we're just enjoying it while it lasts.
In a matchup between man and machine, who wins? Well, so far, it's the machine. In Seoul, South Korea, the artificially intelligent computer defeated the global champion in the ancient Chinese board game Go. Lee Sedol lost the first matchup, but he's got 4 more chances.
이 사람들이 여기 그 일해보라고 하는 사람들이거든요.
We are not responsible, it's just the man in the beat.
Sorry.
It is a bit strange being the front cover and everything as a computer scientist. Normally you sit there in your corner, you code, nobody really knows about it.
Perhaps heard the joke, how can you tell that a computer scientist is an extrovert and not an introvert? If he's an extrovert, he looks at your shoes when he's talking to you instead of at his own.
Like if you look at Aja, he avoids all the cameras like crazy. He's like, game is finished and he's like out the back in his room. And I think a lot of computer scientists would be like that. We're more about doing our work than standing in the spotlight.
Hello and welcome to Game 2, Round 2 in the Google DeepMind Challenge throwdown between man and machine. Game 1, the machine takes down man. Huge shock. Headlines around the world.
The reactions on the ground here from the folks in Korea were just stunned. They estimate 60 million people watched the game in China alone. Probably bringing up to maybe 80 million people watch this game worldwide. It was just incredible. And if anything, today is probably even more of a madhouse. So Isidol knows today. He knows that this is just a really important game, right? He's got to win.
표정을 보니 어떤가요? 좀 긴장한 모습이 보이나요?
네, 아주 긴장을 많이 한 것 같고요. 어제 좀 잠을 설친 것 같습니다.
Isidol on white. I think probably looking for a little payback.
My impression is that maybe he underestimated AlphaGo, and he's going to change his tactics.
Yeah, but Lee's been playing much slower today, which is how much outside. He's playing at half the speed, actually.
서로가 뭐 이렇게 재밌다, 누가 좋다 이렇게 얘기하기는 힘들 것 같습니다. 나왔던 두 수를 보면은 알파고가 굉장히 또 약한 느낌이 드는데
이런 거에 또 방심을 하면 안 되거든요.
네, 저도 감이 지금 안 잡히는데요.
Well, if I say anything about AlphaGo that is not normal is maybe the way it handles a game when it thinks it is ahead.
Yes, we're actually going to have a visit from one of the team, and we'll talk about exactly that point from the inside. Thanks so much for coming by, though. I really appreciate it. Can you sort of share a bit of what is going on in AlphaGo?
So AlphaGo has these three main components. There's the policy network, which was trained on high-level games to imitate those players. And then we have a second component, we call this the value net. And it can evaluate the board position and say what is the probability of winning in this particular position. And the third component is the tree search, where it would look through different variations of the game and try to figure out what will happen in the future. So if we now take a position like this, first the policy network would scan the position and come up with what would be the interesting spots to play, and it builds up a tree of variations, and it then employs this value net that tells it how promising is the outcome of this particular variation. So AlphaGo tries to maximize its probability of winning, but it doesn't care at all about the margin by which it wins.
Okay, so when you see a slow-moving move, that's maybe an indication that AlphaGo thinks it has a good chance to win.
Yeah, that is a little giveaway.
Yeah.
A little tell, we're looking for a tell.
그런 거에서 좀 다르게 보고 있어요. 그리고 또 이런 역사적인 이런 중요한 대국을 시초로 벌이는 그런 주인공의 입장에서 부담이 많이 될 텐데 그런 부담감을 떨궈버리고 본인이 좀 즐겼으면 좋겠어요.
Ooh, looks like Lee is taking a little bit of a break.
Lisedal go too small, and AlphaGo just play. Don't think about the opening will be there or not. So Ajab sees AlphaGo plays the move 37, and Ajab puts the stone in the board.
와, 정말 생각지도 못한.
Value.
That's a very surprising move.
I thought it was a mistake.
When I see this move, for me it's just the big shock. What? Normally human will never play this one because it's bad. It's just bad. We don't know why. It's bad.
But it's a little bit high.
Yeah.
It's fifth line. Normally you don't make a shoulder here on the fifth line.
So coming on top of a fourth line stone is really unusual.
Yeah, that's an exciting move. I think we've seen an original move here. That's the kind of move that you play Go for.
Hey. Interesting. The fifth line shoulder hip.
I wasn't expecting that. I don't really know if it's a good or bad move at this point.
The professional commentators almost unanimously said that not a single human player would have chosen move 37. So I actually had to poke around in AlphaGo to see what AlphaGo thought. And AlphaGo actually agreed with that assessment. AlphaGo said there was a 1 in 10,000 probability that move 37 would have been played by a human player. So it knew that this was an extremely unlikely move. It went beyond its human guide and it came up with something new and creative and different.
I am very much watching the game through these commentators. That's the way it works. So when they're confused, I'm certainly confused. At the same time, I'm latching on to the fact that they are confused, right? That is an interesting moment. When everyone else is confused, who's not confused, right? Besides the machine.
I want to see Lyседal when he sees this movie.
He's back, Leah's back.
알파고는 기술은 뭐 확률적 계산을 하고 그냥 이기기 위한 그런 머신에 불과하다고 생각을 했었는데 그 수를 보는 순간 아니구나. 충분히 알파고도 창의적이다. 정말 아름답고 바둑의 그런 아름다움을 잘 표현한 수고 굉장히 창의적인 수였다.
Normally you have to think about 1-2 minutes, no more. But this time, he think more than 12 minutes. The more I see this move, I feel something changed. Maybe for human we think it's bad, but for AlphaGo, why not?
Go is like geopolitics, like something small that happens here can have a ripple effect, hours down the road in a different part of the board. The game kind of turned on its axis at that moment.
This move is very special because with this move, all the stone played before is work together. It's connect. It looks like a network, link everywhere. It's very special. Very special.
다시 한번 생각해보는 측면이 된다는 게 그것이 포인트가 아니었나 싶은데 바둑에 있어서 창의성이라는 건 도대체 무엇인가? 이런 또 의문. 하여튼 굉장히 의미 있는 수가 아니었나.
This is a tough game for Lyседal. AlphaGo is just not letting Lysedal do what he wants.
Right.
Black has almost 60 points. Oh, that's a lot.
That's not a good sign.
Oh.
Lysedal just slapped himself on the side of the head.
Oh, wow.
I think Black's ahead at this point.
It's looking good, isn't it? We're on that steady path now.
I just see Lysedal. They lose so much. Normally we resent before a long time ago. They won't try. He play. He just don't want to resign.
Because then why? Oh, he resigned. It looks like Lysedal has just resigned.
There was this heavy sadness over that whole floor. And you could feel it during the game. I felt it during the game. And I'm leaving the commentary room to go to the press conference. And I was stopped by someone, another technology reporter. Now, at first, all he wanted to talk about was the technology and how great this was. But then even he kind of slipped into this moment of melancholy where he was upset as well.
놀란 건 어제 충분히 놀랐고요. 할 말이 없을 정도가 아닌가 싶습니다.
I am quite speechless. I admit that it was a very clear loss on my part. From the very beginning of the game, that was not a moment in time that I felt that I was leading the game.
You feel elated and you feel a little bit scared. There is something, I think, frightening to people about a machine that learns on its own.
For us, AlphaGo is obviously just some computer program. But looking at the commentary on the internet, I already saw the commentators call AlphaGo like he and she during the games, completely unconsciously, which AlphaGo is really a very, very simple program. It's not anywhere close to full AI, and we already see that happening, so I found that very interesting.
The tendency to anthropomorphize AI systems is one of the big obstacles in the way of actually trying to understand how AI might impact the world in the future. For example, the conversation is about what could go wrong, like what the risks are. Then invariably you see this Terminator picture. Every single time there are these red glowing eyes, right?
We're really closer to a smart wash machine than Terminator. If you look at today's AI, we are really very nascent. I'm extremely excited and passionate about AI's potential, but AI is still very limited in its power.
I think that people are right to think that there is a danger that as we continue to improve these systems, that we might miss that threshold where we do cross it over into danger. But the good news is that there are already people thinking about those dangers.
You know, there's a lot of talk now, and we're leading the discussions on this, that maybe there should be a kind of cross-industry best practices working group or something, right, where the leaders of the research teams in those organizations, the big ones that are working on AI, IBM, Microsoft, so on, come together and make sure that AI is used ethically and responsibly.
I think what is important is that there is this community of people who are leading the cutting edge of AI, who are interacting with academics and already are thinking about the long term and how we can ensure that innovation is responsible as the power of these machines gets even greater.
This is it, folks. Day 3, game 3, Lee Sedol, Go Master, back to the wall. He's down 2-0. He's got to win today to keep hope alive.
이세돌 구단이 2국을 지고 난 후에 하루 정도 휴식일이 있었는데 이 동료 후배 기사들과 뭐 언론에도 나왔죠. 밤새 새벽까지 바둑 연구를 했다고 합니다.
I heard that four pros, went to visit him, to console him and to review episodes.
Console him? You think he's upset, or
I mean Isidor's upset. Yeah.
In the beginning, there was a peaceful fight, and then AlphaGo played very well, so he secured a very early lead. From move 50, the win rate was very high already, and was climbing toward 100%.
Oh, that's a great move.
What's your probability?
170. Mistake move or white.
지금 본인도 굉장히 이기고 싶은데 심적 부담이 제가 모르게 자꾸 압박감이 점점 강해지는 것 같아요. 특히 오늘은 가장 심할 걸로 판단하고 있어요. 제 개인적인 생각으로는